Yeah, cool. Welcome to Sandbox. Uh, we're gonna have a Hobbleheim guest host. Where'd the music go? The music ran for like maybe like 20 seconds. Anyways, we're gonna be playing the Sandbox Game Jam games today because I didn't make it, but also I was gonna do this anyway. So there's 112 entries. There's a lot of entries. It's unfortunate that my timing didn't work with the work contract, but it doesn't mean that we're done making it, so we're still gonna make it. Plus, there's a bunch of new games, anyways, that came out even outside of the game jam, which seemed kind of cool, and I wanted to try them out, especially stuff like Vindalium, which I saw, which seemed like right up my alley. And I kind of want to see what people have like made because I feel like this is gonna be the fun stuff here. The problem is that I don't want to join a random lobby, so I'm gonna make my own lobby. But if you do have Sandbox, let me know because then I can invite you myself. Leave me alone. A Monopoly clone at the top of trending is a crime against humanity. Wait, where? State Emperor, the classic Monopoly game. Okay, we're going right in. We're gonna try a State Emperor. Oh god, it has to download. Create lobby. Join lobby. No lobby available. Create lobby. Erstellen. What? Why is the game so quiet? Oh, I remember. I load the volume. I think last time because there's wait Erstellen is create in German. Oh, let's be the boot then. Let's be the boot. It really is just Monopoly. Go. Isn't that jail? Didn't I just go to jail? Okay, well, I don't really like Monopoly, but hey, that's a pretty cool game. Love it, love it. Really cool stuff. I will say they did a good job with the dice and stuff, so it's pretty cool. I didn't know I'd go straight to jail though. It was kind of funny. Let's just check out the game jam, right? Was it even a part of the game jam? Like, I don't even know. But I know one thing that's a part of the game jam is Vindalium. This one apparently is really, really cool, and I wanted to try this out. Now, since there's 100 games, we don't really have much time. We have maybe like an hour. We're going to speed run through as much of this as we can because we need to spend time playing Deadlock and stuff too. Unfortunately, there's just not enough time. This doesn't seem like 100 games though. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. JFK Part 2 Work in Progress. Okay, some games. Trump Part 2. We're going to avoid some games. I think we're going to avoid... This is a... I'm realizing now, I don't think... Like, because it's meant to be a free platform, right? So Face Punch presumably is not going to be like doing stuff like, oh, you can't make the same. They're probably going to be like, make whatever you want and we'll deal with the consequences later, right? Which is I think that's the right. Holy shit, chat! It's the Glizzy Guzzler. It's the Glizzy Gladiator. It's the Glizzy Gladiator. The Glizzy Gladiator. The Glizzy Gladiator made a game. The Glizzy Gladiator made a game. It's the Glizzy Gladiator. We have to play this game. The Glizzy Gladiator. You guys don't remember the Glizzy Gladiator? You don't remember the Glizzy Gladiator? Here, let me show you the Glizzy Gladiator. I'm going to show you the clip of the Glizzy Gladiator, since all of you seem to have forgotten about the Glizzy Gladiator. Where is it? What the fuck? Do you see my eyes there? This is the Glizzy Gladiator. Since some of you heathens have forgotten the best video in the entire world here. Made by the Glizzy Gobbler.
I've never seen nobody be able to do this. I can do it quick. Okay? I'm just saying.
He made this game. The Glizzy Gobbler made this game, chat. They made this game. Oh, wait, chat, this reminds me of, like, Tory Bash. This reminds me a lot of Tory Bash. Where, like, the physics is, like, kind of janky, and you play like this. This is pretty cool, actually. What in God's name? You've never seen it? I play it all the time on this channel. It's my favorite clip. Okay, now this game is kind of loud. I guess there's no way to lower the volume, huh? You wonder if the Trump game is a two-hoot like bullet hell. I'm not gonna try it. Okay, some games we're going to avoid for the sake of the stream. Okay, some games we're going to avoid. I don't want certain audiences in here, and I want to really enjoy this time. You know, Minecraft Steve looking motherfucker. Come here. Look, that's actually Steve. His name is Steve. Chat. His name is actually Steve. I will say it's very janky, but it's actually surprisingly like fun in the way that it works. It's like the ultimate mix of like physics based plus like, weird like control based. Like it feels a lot like Worms and Toribash combined, where it's not exactly precise and you're really just here to have fun with the way that it kind of feels like, right? That's what this feels like. No way! It's Steve! I like that. I actually like that a lot. And I also like that it's made by the Sausage Man. Okay, well, we need to start from the very top. What is Vindalium? Dawn Soft Games presents Vindalium. Is it Vindalium or is it Vindalium? Vindicus. Okay, Dawn Soft Games presents Vindalium. It's stuck downloading. Is the stream dead? Y'all still here? Chat? Am I still live? Why is it stuck? It's stuck downloading. Oh, 10%. Okay, now all of a sudden my connection worked. What? 83 megabits per second. Damn, they're really hyping it up. I guess this is like the drawback, because I was looking into for our game too how to export it. There's actually a lot of things that you can do even before you export, but you're kind of limited, right? I think, and what I was thinking of is that actually the best use of this is a bit like how Dota 2 does it, where that the like intro screen, it's almost like a 3D scene mix. Because if you do like a video that like loops like this, right? Now I see the flaw of it, because if it takes a while to like download, because it's not just servers, it's like Facepunch, it's a Facepunch service, right? If it takes a while to like download, then it's kind of hard to actually like get into the game to stop the like looping. I don't know why it takes forever. I don't know what do I think of the game. We haven't even played yet. So I think the best way is you do a scene that then smoothly transitions to your loading screen, right? But I don't know if that's possible. I was actually experimenting with it somewhat for Snow Job, because like Snow Job is basically that. So it's like a good looping video, and then you go into your intro, almost like loading state. Because there's a specific like loading screen that I kind of want to do for the game. So just give it a moment. I don't know what's actually wrong. What is there like a error when building render tree? Downloading 3 gigabytes. Well, we found the console key, so now we know what's like happening. Downloading 1,000 files for 2 gigabytes. So first it was 3 gigabytes, so now it's 2 gigabytes left. Holy moly, ravioli! I was actually also taking a look at the engine more, like in its internals. I don't know if that's actually legal, because I used the disassembler, but I'll check out all of the code, especially the code that s&box uses to decide what editor they like have open, which to like use your code code editor. Because Rider, it makes like a new folder every time. So if you have a different folder name than what it expects, it like breaks. It's a very surprisingly brittle editor experience, but the duct tape works well. This better be worth it. They seem sure about themselves, right? They keep going at it. Dawn Soft Games, Vindalium. We can actually do like a thing for them here. Here, devs, if you want something for free, just like if you want something for free, just let me know and I'll give you the high quality source clip. We have to wait. Dawn Soft Games presents Vindalium! And then it would go into the game by now, but it still hasn't gone there yet. It's still loading. Give it a moment. It's still loading. We'll get there eventually. I didn't know it would take so long to load, actually. I thought it'd be faster. But now I actually see one other fatal flaw of the platform. So there's a couple things I was thinking about with the platform, right? While I was making my game too, was like, if it takes like a long, because like you don't own the server, and it's up to them to run the servers, right? So not only do you need to have very speedy servers, and also stable servers, because say you have an online game on the platform, and say they eventually have like loading data, save data that you can store, right? Oh, it actually did go into it. They actually did it. An RPG game from Viwi. That voice line would have been another 100 megabyte download size for an uncompressed WAV file. So true. Still single player. Download time increased by 5 minutes. It's very quiet. Let me max volume. Now be warned, because this is game jam stuff, so every single, just again, you've seen how hard it is to make a game from my perspective even. So be warned, volume, everything may be all over the place. There is a limiter that cannot go higher than my voice. It actually goes lower than my voice. Door stop. Okay. What? Pistola? Oh fuck. I thought this was like a RPG. I thought this was like a searching loot, an RPG grind game. What do you mean grind game? I have a pistol. Hey, the crouching. See, everybody does the crouching the same way. This is from the character controller, kind of. Everybody does the crouching the same way. This is the main table, where later on you can craft, refine, buy, and sell. With each tier, oh my god, chat, it's a loot chest. I want to open this. Okay, well, how do I leave this with this menu? I lowered the volume. I lowered the volume. That's not the volume. Where's the volume of this game? What? Wait, what? Where's the volume of this game? That's the volume of the s&box client. What? Huh. That's weird. No, that is the volume of the game. Okay, well, Jesus Christ, these bullet sounds are so loud. It's a 25% volume. You can't hear anything else. This is not a them thing. It's just by default, like gun sounds are very loud. It's not a them thing. So I want to, I guess, buy. I don't know. How do I buy? Okay, pick up your first weapon. Side note: it's using mana. What? What do you mean it's using mana? What? Vindalium. These guns use mana. I don't know how true that is. What do you mean it uses mana? Huh? Unequip. USP. Attack value. Durability. Slow resistance. It uses mana? Why don't just use the USB? Pick up some ammo for rifle, for pistol. Just run over them. Okay. What? Oh, that's experience. I'm level 4 now. Go back and follow the dungeon. Oh shit, it's a slime. I love this is what isekais would actually be like, right? The goddess from another world would. There's either a trigger here, or I don't really know what this is. But the goddess from another world brings you to this new, foreign land where you don't know what's like going on. And she realizes that giving you a sword is useless because you're just a normal human. So she gives you like a Glock 20, which, by the way, if you make this game, change the name of the guns. The Glock and the USP are trademarked. I learned this the hard way a long time ago. You might want to change the name of the guns. You actually should never use the actual name of the guns as you see them, because like even in CS, for instance, they pay money for that shit. I guarantee you that they pay money for it. A lot of gun names you just can't use, which sucks because like everyone knows like an MP5, but you can't use like a heckler and like a cock thing. Heckler cock. What? Press on ready to select map to warp into reality. Wait, did I get copyright struck by a Glock? I did get cocked by the Glock. I did get cock-locked. Yep, I got cock-locked. It's like, I actually like this map design, by the way. I like that this creator had fun with the map design, because it's like, it reminds me of like those old school maps. Where you hide like secret stuff off the sides. It's actually very, very fun. Because even in like a tutorial level, right? It's like fun to have secret stuff around for like people to like have. Reminds you of Doom almost. Yeah, exactly. Reminds you of Doom. My gun disappeared. Well, my gun is in my hand. Chat. We can increase the volume now. There's no pause. Oh fuck. So we can increase the volume. Because my gun is disappeared. In fact, there's no sound at all. Sure. Okay. Well, there's a USP plus 3. C tier. We'll use a Glock. Oh! I didn't mean to increase the volume, sorry. Is this like the default stuff? It actually feels kind of nice to use. Ice. I like that ice slime. It's funny too because like everybody uses slimes, right? I talked about this before, where like slimes are like the easiest monsters to use because they're very versatile in the way that they are. They have a lot of different attributes about them that are still fun to play with, right? Particularly in the way that they're sort of like blobby and like low, so there's still a bit of a skill check thing too. Yeah, this is surprisingly addicting. It's surprisingly addicting to go around to like find stuff. Why is there a wardrobe? Unknown player has left the game. What? Chat, who is unknown player keeps leaving the game? I'm so confused. What? Ignoring any end position. Unknown player has left the game. Who is this? We're in a single party. This is a private game. This is twice now. So the last game had this too, and this game had this too. Ruh-roh. Yeah, it's a bit of a ruh-roh thing going on. Fascinating. Huh. Maybe it's like a spectator player. Because remember how I mentioned at least for Deadlock, I was like, it makes sense why they're locking the game times to a certain time, because then they can sort of like see the games happen as they happen live. I wonder if the sandbox devs are doing the same thing, and they're like, dropping into people's things to see what's going on. Or do you, as a game creator, have the ability to? Like, I would love that. As like the creator of a game, I guess it'd be kind of weird because the terms of service does say you're not allowed to specify any blocks based on someone's Steam ID. But if I could just allow myself to have like an extra custom slot to slide on into anybody's game, I would love that. That way I can see what people are doing right at the moment. Also, I feel like they use the press thing, but not the press thing. It feels weirdly like laggy if you press it like fast. Oh, you know what it is? When you shoot, it's waiting for something to finish. Like I can click here. I'll click like three times here. Sometimes it shoots 3. Sometimes it shoots 2. It depends on your speed. We're not gonna make it. Okay, well, we're level 14. It's one map. Can I buy something? It's your main table. Wait, later on you can craft, buy, and supply. Oh! Forest! Start base. This is the dungeon. Oh. Forest. Oh, these don't exist yet. I'm ready. I've never found a single ring yet. Abilities. There's a lot of numbers. Bonus Vandalium gain. Well, that's the name drop of the game. It's actually kind of cool. I actually kind of like this. Yeah, you know what? And it's a good effort. I commend them for starting with an RPG, because even just like basic control stuff is very hard to make it feel good, right? Like stuff like this. Like you see how like sometimes when I move, it has this like weird weightiness to it, where it kind of feels like I'm like a physical character. It's surprisingly hard to make this feel good, so I'm surprised that they also went the full way with like a full RPG too. So I commend them for it. Fun. Good. I like it. It's nice. Breakdown protocol. What's this? And let's see how it goes. Do you have a loading video too? I feel like every game should have a loading video, right? Because it's like the one chance for you to leave your mark in the world. And it's fascinating, because when you create something, it's like you have a desire to make something, to bring that thing to life. But there's also this like weird satisfaction that you also get from leaving your mark in the world too. I've been trying to get rid of that feeling in my own stuff, because I feel like that's a slippery road down to narcissism. But I won't deny that it feels good. On the base level, I just I want to try to feel good. I just don't want to be. I don't want to be a narcissist anymore at all. At all? Not anymore? At all? At all? At all? Let's just wait for the download. How much am I downloading now? 1 GB. I kind of wish it did tell you like how much you're downloading here. I guess the problem is that like you can't enter the scene level more. Oh, actually, look, it says it in the console, but not in the game. Scene weird, Geschelt. So it's actually funny that it says in the console why I couldn't go to the forest map, but it didn't say it inside the game. I guess like to be fair, like the UI stuff was very confusing to me too. I still don't know how to make the UI like appear. Like I don't get it yet. That's the next thing I need to like figure out. So now we're in. We downloaded 58 Resident sibling files. Are these all made by Germans, considering the German UI and the console messages? Maybe it is a global competition, and I don't think Germans know about the Glizzy Gobbler, like the Glizzy Gobbler. So at least the like Jank Fight game was made by like a hot-blooded American and a very lost Canadian, or a very lost Canadian, right? So there's probably some other people. Sniper, not made to be played alone. Oh, oh, my ears. I will say, I really wish people spent more time tuning the balance. Holy mother of FOV. No, you understand? It's because I'm a sniper. It is wall run stuff. Wait, that's actually cool. That's cool. Wall run stuff is always hard to get right because like see this. You see how you like go right here. Look, when I jump, I have this normal height anyway. So if I jump from the bench forward and I stop right, I'd go here. Yeah. The wall run stuff, the way that I found it feels the best is when you do it like Mirror's Edge style, where it actually increases the distance that you move. Otherwise, it just feels like a jump where your like perspective shifts. See that? It's like not a them thing. It's just why are you allowed to spin the gun? It's not a them thing. It's just like it's just a really hard like detail to like nail. Yeah, why is it so massive? It's not because I'm a sniper, right? But yeah, this would be a multiplayer game. I don't want to jump into multiplayer stuff because like I haven't really tuned the settings to like not deal with the multiplayer stuff, like the voice and stuff. So, but maybe we should. For some of these games, maybe we should. So keep a note of this. We'll come back to this to play within multiplayer. Okay, I like it so far for the concept. Yeah, exactly. That's like the arena shooter like meta style game. Yeah. So Breakdown Protocol. We're gonna come back to that to play in multiplayer. Because I do want to try it in multiplayer. Like, do we? I'm gonna hide the screen. And we're gonna see what's going on here. I'm gonna. How about I narrate it to you all? Okay. On awake camera. Oh Jesus. No. 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 Yeah. Okay. Let's not do that. It crashed. Oh, thank God it crashed. Oh, thank God. Okay, you don't want to know you do not want to know what I saw. It's a good thing that it crashed. Good thing that it crashed. So for context, you're in a room with pictures of JFK staring at you, and then a documentary on his whole life, and probably his assassination is like going to like play. So it's a good thing that I clicked away. Because that would have been awful. Hey, look, there's a whole new order to the games. Nice. Okay, cool. We have a whole new order. What stasis? I don't know why it crashed. Why did it crash? Let me get the game logs actually. Maybe it's because I alt tab. Game logs. So the newest log is when? I don't actually know. Date modified. What day is it today? Holy shit, September 1st. Waiting for web auth ticket. Has joined the game. Sniper fired. So it literally ends on has joined the game. Error file open. File not found. Error loading resource. Map Kennedy v2. World visibility vvis underscore c. On awake on cam balls. Camera failed. Object reference not set to an instance of an object. I know that error. I know that error very, very well. I know that error. Sure. I pressed space to self-destruct. I didn't know. I didn't know that was the... I, I thought because usually in games like this, space spins your rotors. No, in this game, space like self destructs you. Thank God there's a reset button. How do you fly? How exactly do you fly? Oh shit! It's one of these things. It's implemented well. It's implemented well. It's actually implemented very very well. It's exactly what you expect from this type of control scheme. Actually, it's a bit weighty though. It's a bit weighty. It's a bit weighty in the way it goes. Need liftoff, then you go a bit low. It's a bit weighty. Well, I can't tell if it's a bit like floaty. Actually, I can't tell if it's a bit floaty or if it's just me being like bad at it. Right? I think it's just because I'm bad at it, and my current control scheme, like a mouse, doesn't really translate well. You know, too. It's also the camera angle. I can't like I can't get a good sense of where my helicopter is. To be fair, like doing a more dynamic camera system where it kind of follows you and like lerps you, it's not the most intuitive thing to like think about, right? Because you need to like lerp it, and then you need to do it based on the angle that you're at, and like the speed that you're going at and like stuff, in order to really make it feel like nice and smooth. But that's the one thing that would make this feel really good, is if you could have the camera from a third person perspective kind of be much more loose. It's a bit leashed to the helicopter. That way you can see within context of where you are compared to everything else. It's also just because the map itself is also very, very hard to like, discern details from. Yeah, translating it one to one is really confusing. Yeah, exactly. That's a good way of saying it. Yeah, it's just a one-to-one translation. Plus the fact that like the map is like a very monochrome style, so it's hard to see like the various details away from you. So close. Oh fuck! I'm gonna crash. Okay, if I can go. Okay, well, if I can go left. Okay, we need to use the readings. We use the readings at the bottom. Fuck. Use the readings at the bottom. Okay, fuck. The readings at the bottom. Oh, fuck. Oh, yes, so close. Ah. I also wonder if it's like a mouse sensitivity thing. I did notice this in the last two games too. I guess 30 if you count the JFK game. But the sensitivity of your mouse control feels very, very low. Like it feels like your sensitivity is almost like hard locked in some way. It's very odd. Featured community. Cool. Find community map. Oh yeah, I forgot. Yeah, because you can make like community maps. Like, because you can make maps and you can load the map into the game. This is a game like this is a great display of that feature. Because some games, like, it's really hard to think of how you could make that game translate to other maps. And so like the map portion of Sandbox was always hard for me to sort of see. But now with this game, I can see this game being a great demonstration of what happens when you have that custom map feature, and people can load your game play into a different map. I think that's kind of cool. How do you fly up? That's actually like neat. Do you kind of wish the controls stayed on screen? I can go inside there. Fuck. Oh no. Oh no. I need to slow it down. Once I get here, slow it down. Okay, good. Yeah. Slow down. Slow down. Okay, fly it up, fly it up, fly it up. That's right. That's okay. Too far. That was good. I like that too. It's good. Do we leave reviews? Is it weird to leave reviews? I'll leave reviews after the stream because doing it now, it's like I'm gonna slow down and try to type things, right? I'll just watch the VOD again and I'll leave the reviews afterwards. How about that? Kind of lazy. Arcade box. Game object scene changing. What? Game GUID is already taken by game object.scene. What? Oh, because it switches scenes. Wait, if you switch scenes, how does two scenes have the same GUID? Error creating shaders. Pong, a tic-tac-toe. Oh. Okay, Pong. Exception when calling fixed update on Pong Ball. Oh, Jesus. I do like that they have the the exception is that it doesn't move. Object reference not set to a reference of an object. I know your pain, Dev. I know your pain. Hey, chat. Kind of cool too. I actually I like the concept. I like the concept. I like the concept. If you could fix it after it's broken, I would like the concept, right? Infinite obby. Oh no, chat. Obby. Chat, they use the word obby. Oh no, chat, they use the word obby.
Hi.
They use the
Can I get a
word
double
obby.
chocolate blumpkin, extra felch, and
We have to. We just have to. I'm sorry.
What the Sigma?
Hi.
W order, by the way.
Thanks, you too.
What's your at?
Oh, Livy Dawn.
Livy Dunn.
Why did they use the word
Baby
obby?
Grunk.
It's nice to meet you.
Why did
What
they
are you
use the
doing in
word
a map like
obby?
this?
Stop, you're so chalant.
I'm sorry to be so chalant. It's just, you got a level 10 yeah, no glaze.
Why did they use the word
Really,
obby?
really,
The only up obby. This is the only up obby, chat. This is the only up obby because we're going only up.
Jinxie, you need access.
You got me.
This is so crazy. It's like
Yeah.
I woke up in femboy furry land. Like,
Chat,
is this Riz?
Like W's in the chat.
Do you
maybe I should extend my maybe I should be extending my like work contract, right? I don't know if I can do this as like an adult in this time and age.
I'm just waiting for the moment for Phantom to come in and tax Bros Riz. Did it hurt
Did what hurt?
when you dropped?
I hate this so much.
Spitting on it.
I mean, Baba Booey.
Not the game. I hate what I did because the word was obby. I think that game was actually like fun. I think it was a good take on the concept of like going only up, but the things are moving towards you. The perspective though was hard to see, right? Because the perspective was like off the side. It also felt kind of like buggy in certain areas. But to be fair, it's really hard to do collision like well, because the way that you do collision, like no joke, most every game is just have you hit the floor, check like 30 or 40 times. Okay, now you're definitely on the floor, so you're good. That's why jumping is always like very, very difficult to do, and why it's usually relegated to physics, because way easier to do it on the physics side. We have way more like stuff to work with, right? Compared to programming it yourself. So good. I like that too. That was a good effort. I like the concept of it. I think it's an interesting concept for an only up game, where it feels kind of like a Beat Saber, but like only up style, right? I think that's a very interesting style of the game. It's not my favorite, so I didn't add it to my favorite, but I like the concept, even though it and again, these are game jam games. People only really had like a month, and as you've seen, even with a month and very limited, you often end up with like maybe like 2 hours every night, at best, if you have like a full-time job, right? So, and I have an easier full-time job. Just the place is on fire. VR archery training. I'm assuming this needs VR. So this is actually a great test because I've actually been wondering about this. s&box does allow for VR stuff because again, it's Source 2, right? And Source 2 was made to make Half-Life Alyx. I'm curious to see how well the integration with the VR stuff is. I have a VR headset, but I don't want to put it on. So could I just try this without VR? And then maybe we pop on the headset. No, it's going to take too long to do it, actually. It's going to take too long. I have it currently set up for VR chat, so. Failed. What? Why failed? Spawn zone finished spawning due to player died. Huh? Overlay. What? Texture man that doesn't know about texture unnamed vtext when setting empty string. Returning error texture in error loading resource. File not found. Maybe it's because I don't have VR that I can't play this, right? Let's see. Welcome to the thrilling world. That's weird. Because it actually looks really good, right? It actually looks surprisingly good. But if it's... Huh. I guess that's like one flaw of having the VR games on the platform at the same time, is that if you have the VR games on the platform at the same time, but you also can't, like... I guess, like, play the game without the VR. And so what s&box does is it just stops and it crashes. It's like, why even show it to me at all? But at the same time, it's like you want to surface it because it's a VR game. So maybe if they have a VR headset, then they could play it. But there's no fallback for VR. Like, there's no meaningful fallback for VR. It's not like when you have controller versus mouse, right? Because that at least you have some kind of default fallbacks where you can kind of map camera controls to like, you know, maybe to the joystick. But even then, if you have a fully custom control scheme and like there's no standard like Unreal Engine-esque, everything starts out as like an FPS kind of deal, then yeah, you're kind of boned. Okay, I'll add this VR archery training. This thing took 9 months to make, which, I mean, to be fair, it looks very smooth. Just the controls for controlling the bow is like very, very good. Surprisingly solid. And then you have to deal with the fact that like, because your eye and your perspective might be kind of off. So a lot of VR games, what they tend to do is they kind of fake the way that you shoot something. So it's like they'll like track it towards like a target. It's very fascinating. So I either Frank Simulator. What? I like going into these games with no reading. Like, just don't read anything, because then it's like, we're surprised every time. I don't know if that's actually a good way of doing it, but... Hey, Frank Simulator 2 fans, we need your help. Vote for it. Your vote can make a huge... Who is... Frank? Okay. How do you play this game? I didn't know it would surface the names like this within the controls menu. That feels odd. I thought it wouldn't surface the names of the controls in the control menu like this. But also, what happens if you conflict with a built-in control like voice? By the way, I can't play this game. I don't know. What? A simulator around Franks and friends, inspired by Rock Simulator. Global players, 732. Global average session, 31 seconds. Are we all lost in the sauce? Is this like the new meta of an idle game? Where instead of it being like an idle game, it's like this feels like a deconstruction of what an idle game is, right? Cases from the Murder Wagon. Just go into this. What's this? I like viewing the console. I'm surprised that they just let you have this, actually. Like, just open the console to see it. To be fair, like, you can't really stop people anyways, and it's like a very Source Engine thing to just always have access to the console, so... It's more about, like, how do you secure it on, like, the game dev side, not like, leaking stuff. And also from, like, you know, the sandbox side, how do you just not leak stuff? So... Because, I mean, it worked fine for Counter-Strike. And, you know, every other Source Engine game out there. It's, downloading. This is going to be the biggest killer of the platform. I can see this being a major problem. Because of one thing. Server performance, time to play, right? I'm going to talk about this for a bit. Server performance and then this like metric of like time to play, I guess, is probably the best way to say it. It's probably the most important aspect of this platform making it. Because while it's weird to think about it in that sense, because you can just download a game on Steam and it would take you like even longer. You can kind of do that on the side, and you can queue up a bunch of downloads. Like, Steam has a very good download manager, right? With s&box, you can only download the game and update it when you go to play it. Even like presumably with the updates too. So it's like, okay, well, if you have a game that you like, and then it gets updated, and it's like a massive game, right? Because presumably sandbox is for small games using default assets that are all shared within the core sandbox. Whatchamacallit? The core sandbox asset stuff, right? And then you get games like Vendalium, which has its own custom asset for the slimes and the map stuff, right? Textures and all that. So what happens when a game that's like 20 what happens when a 20 gigabyte game comes out with really high quality assets? Well, people are stuck downloading it from a server at, you know, 80 megabytes per second, 50 megabits per second, right? that's gonna be the larger killer because I can't just queue that up overnight and then play in the morning, or I can't queue it up over like a number of days while I'm working and then play it afterwards, right? I can't just like, and I also can't have it queue multiple games I want to try out all at once. I have to sit here, wait for it to finish, quit the game, go to another game to start the download on like that. And that's only if it doesn't update in between when I want to play it too. Because when it updates, there's no Steam feature where it's like, hey, game is updating. Do you want to continue playing or do you want to just wait? Like, there's nothing like that. There's no control over that. I can see that being a very, very painful aspect of Sandbox moving forward from both the creator of like Sandbox, Facebook Studio side, as well as from somebody who's trying to use the platform for their game. So like a game creator, right? Because if the service that you're on can't even perform to the point where you need it to perform to get people into the experience fast enough to reduce the amount of friction to like playing something, I feel like people are going to drop off pretty quick on like things that, are going to be higher quality. And it sort of leads to this sort of like catch 20, or like this like, sorry, not like catch 22, but this like idea of like, why put the effort in to make such a high quality experience with like really nice quality assets? Because like you could, but it's like, why bother? And then why bother staying on a Sandbox platform when you could either do that, export to Steam, get much better, I guess, like support framework around that, or you just make a lower quality game that has a lot less like stuff to it that doesn't push it as far as we could see, and thus you have this like soft cap on like the quality of stuff that you can like play with, right? Not in terms of gameplay, but just in terms of like asset quality, which is unfortunately like a pretty large indicator of, or like a pretty good way to like bring in users to the platform, right? And so you end up with games that just have Terrys. Huh. That's an interesting problem to have. Very interesting problem to have. And again, I get why it's hard for them too, because it's even on the Facebook side. How do you do that? How do you support it for every single game? And also, well, because what happens if like thousands of people download it all at the same time? Let's say Sandbox just explodes, and there's a big game that's really popular, and it's like a 20 gig game that like looks really nice, and people really want to play it, right? But it's just a large size, right? All of a sudden, you have like 1,000 people trying to download it at the same time. How do you distribute that? I mean, Steam has a whole network of this stuff, right? Like they spent like almost like 2 decades, I think, right now building that entire infrastructure, almost. Whereas Sandbox is like it's just Facebook Studios. That's going to be an interesting killer, I think, for this platform. It's going to be a very interesting problem to solve. It feels like a problem, at least to me, that seems like the only way to solve it is with money. But I don't know enough about the problem space to say otherwise. So don't listen to what I say about that. I just think it's going to be a problem, but I don't know a good solution for it. Other than maybe, I don't know, like trying to bundle more of the thing. But then like if people just use the bundled stuff, like not that saying that that's a bad thing. It means that the base Sandbox install is like larger, which is probably the easier thing to like sell because Steam has all those features, right? But then it's like, what if you do want to make a fully custom game? Well, then it might be a better value for you to export, right? And then it's like, why stay on the platform? Because even now, I still don't know how to save data for you as a player. Like, it doesn't seem like it's possible. It seems like you can save data for like the leaderboards and stuff, but arbitrary data for you to reuse in future games, I still haven't really figured that out yet. It doesn't seem like there's really like much support for it there yet, and so it's like if it doesn't have that, and then the platform is holding you back from getting the players into the game ASAP, it feels like a very hard thing to sell to a game developer, And then if you're putting effort into the export side of things, and people only use that, and no one uses this, and this is just filled with like random stuff, what happens to the Sandbox, right? The engine lives on, but the game, dead. Fascinating. Like this. 27 megabits per second. $60, $70. My speed is fast. Like, really fast. Like, you've seen me on stream download games within like 30 minutes. Or like less. Like massive 100 plus gigabyte games just to play. And this is struggling with a 500 megabyte game. Dear God, it's loud. Create lobby. I just want to see. Waiting for another player. Gather the evidence, then leave without getting killed by the stalker. Help the runner to survive by looking at the stalker. Beware he can come for you too. Okay. We're gonna play this as well with other people in like random party. Because I think this is also a multiplayer game. Take control of the murder wagon investigation team and cooperate to solve the biggest case. It requires 2 players to play, no less, no more. Anybody from chat want to play this with me? Cases from the murder wagon. If you do want to play with me, go to s&box.game, get the game, download it, and then message me within either Discord. Well, just message me inside chat. I'll add you after DMing you in like Discord, and we're off to the races. Okay. Sigma Terry Timber. Again, all these games we're gonna play after. Maybe not the VR one yet. I think I'll do the VR one some other day. Maybe even tomorrow, because tomorrow's kind of a VR day. Amazing. Sell your logs here. Oh my god, isn't this just a mobile game? I know this. This is just a mobile game. I know this. I get a mobile game ad for these games called Whiteout. Whiteout Survival. And the game looks exactly like this. Where it's like, you know, you're in a place and you have to cut down trees to survive. And you get the money to buy more tools to like cut down more trees to survive. The like coming storm. And then you use the money to cut down from those new cut down trees to get even more money to cut down even more trees. But then if you optimize the wrong way, the game ends, but it never really ends. Can I buy these? Yeah, see, this is why. Remember, I was talking about how I need to make like a giant trigger volume under my like map, and then like anything that falls under it, if it's not marked as like as an important thing, it gets automatically deleted. Otherwise, it gets teleported back to the map. Because this is gonna happen. Like you can't stop this from like happening, but you can stop it with like a very very large trigger volume that basically expands the entire bottom of your map. I like it. It's fun. Interestingly fun. It's definitely the kind of game that you would play if you really want to like grind for something. Space. 5 megabytes. What the fuck? 5 megabytes? There isn't really gameplay aside from moving around. Building scene player. Scene build? What? Oh. Pressure. Play. Object should not be null. I guess this is it's like airship builder or like a spaceship builder. That's actually kind of cool. Huh. Little 2D game about surviving in space, gathering resources to build your spaceship. Huh. The spaceship creation / player movement design, but didn't manage to do the actual gameplay for the end of the jam. So yeah, there's not a lot to do in the game other than moving around and building spaceships. So true, King or Queen. So true. There really isn't enough time. See that? And they also started around the time that I did too. It's just really hard. Even with like a month time, it's just hard. There's just not enough time. Scene player. Okay, buddy, come here. Come here, Mr. Meteorite. Come here. Oh, it's like one of these games. Come here. Come on. Let me turn you into a rock. Come on. I do like this though. It's actually very interesting. Very neat. Please let me go. So that's the crusher outside. I need to crush these meteorites. I need to crush them. I need to crush you. I need to crush you. Please get crushed, please. Please get crushed, please. Okay. Now get crushed. Okay, come on. Get crushed, come on. Go into the crusher. I feel like I'm in like a Twilight Zone, like an actual Twilight Zone. You could totally expand on this and it'd be a really cool like game. But again, it's just really hard to find time. But they do a good job of doing this like physics engine like stuff. Especially the leashing. The leashing feels really good. And the automatic like scanning to find things near you to then stick onto you is like nice. And it's also a good example of the 2D stuff. Because there was like I think there was a 2D view. I think, but like just the idea of like making a 2D game within it, I haven't really explored much of it. So it's actually a pretty cool look into what it would take to make a 2D game within Sandbox. I like it. Jetpack Jumper. Oh dear God, is it another only up game? And honestly, for 5 megabytes, like that's kind of good. Save object list, huh? Maybe there is a save then. Go to play scene, save object list, or maybe that's just for. Well, I don't know. Here's what it is. Press space to jump. Use jetpack. Navigate using WSD. Fuel can be used as saying on the ground or touching a blue fuel orb. Spikes or rockets will kill you. Reach the end of a level to win. Oh, that's weird. It's like a constrained POV, but it's very loud too. It's a pretty interesting take on like the constrained POV type of game, because you have like your POV here. Oh fuck! It's so loud. But you can also move forward, so it's not like a Mario game. It's actually very much unlike a Mario game, where you can actually move forward in the scene. It feels a lot more like a Little Big Planets in the Sackboard. It feels very, very similar to like that. But it also feels very unwieldy. But see? But your perspective doesn't matter for when you die. Like you can't slide under like a rocket. By going into a collection was modified, the enumeration operation may not execute. On screen panel, operations that change non-concurrent collections must have exclusive access. Well, exclusive access is not very easy to have. Because look, if I go really, really forward, see that? Even though I'm in front of the barrels, it still hits you. Interesting. Very interesting stuff. What? Does that say shag in the top right of my screen? Sandhog. What? Sandhog? Shag. I died? Cool. Works surprisingly well. Surprisingly works well. I don't know why it didn't ask me to vote the game. That was weird. How do you vote the game outside? Okay, well. That's weird. The menu for like voting, do you like this game, didn't show up. So if I go back in, it doesn't show up. What? Is it supposed to show up? Spectator. F1 to see game info. Huh. Because every other game was like, do you like this game? And I was like, yeah, no. You know what I mean? But like this one doesn't. Pervertish? What? Pervertish. Maybe Banana Peel's Create game. A small game and toolbar rotating. Create game? What? Well, hi. Welcome to Pervertish. Game tool about rotating and moving. You can use this to get photos and videos of maps. Ah. The Pervertish means flipping thing. Ah. It's a camera tool. That's kind of cool, actually, if you think about it. Because again, you think about the way the maps work here. Because if I go and download like a map, let's say like 7-Eleven. Y'all want 7-Eleven? No, not Walker. Give me fucking 7-Eleven. A Gmod classic reconstructed. Why is it going to Walker? What? What is Walker? Maybe Walker is just your default game. But how do I as a player of Sandbox use this map within that other thing? Like unless the maker of every game has to implement like a map chooser. I guess it makes sense, right? Because then it's like it'd be way too much work to go from the map side to know what games are compatible with your map. So then figure out like because that mapping like that one to the like one the one to many with the one being the map is way too hard. It'd be easier. Oh my god, it's 7-Eleven with arrow signs. Would be way too hard comparatively. Coffee in a Doma cup, only 99 cents. Conspiracy has joined the game. Hello, Conspiracy. Where are you? Hello? Is anybody there? Conspiracy? I have a theory for you. That's lame. I'm sorry. I'm gonna leave it. That was lame. Sorry, buddy. Cool. What was that game called again? Pivot or Tish. Okay, let's see if I can create game. Select the map. There we go. The Liminal Showcase. Okay. How do you actually play this game? Oh god. Downloading the map is interesting. Because it's maps that you can package with your game. Because you have like a map loader component, right? Like a map scene or like a map scene game object. How do you go up? UE. Okay, how do you go up? No, how do you go up? Okay, there we go. Yeah. It's a bit of an interesting tool. Even though it's probably... this might be the worst control system I've ever seen for a camera in my entire life. I'm sorry. I feel like just WASD... Because every other camera system out there... And actually, this is my biggest complaint with even Cyberpunks, is like... I don't know why they don't just make the camera go out, and they just do it kind of like how you would within the game's editor, where you have like WASD to move, you have shift to speed it up, and you have right click to like move your perspective around. And you might have like mouse wheel to do like very precise movement, or like, you know, arrow keys, right? To go like one pixel at like a time. Interesting concept as a tool that interacts with the rest of the system. I don't know if it's much of a game necessarily, but it's cool. Bean Boy Runners. RGBA is not valid with background color. Yeah, sorry, man. You can't do that. You can't do a divisional like that. Or at least you're missing like the A component too. Actually, wait, yeah, because you can't even do. Well, I mean, wait, you should be able to. Huh? Interesting UI. Very interesting UI. It's very difficult to click things. Quit game. Race through the narrow streets of alleyway run as you dash, jump. Okay, cool. This is like that rat game. What's that rat game? There's like a rat cheese game. It's a very famous French game. Very, very similar. So Bean Boy Runners will wait for other people as well. So the thing is, right, the way that it works, because I'm in a private party, people can't join my game. But if I wasn't in a private party, I'd join any random person's game. So for instance, if I go here, I need to mess with the sound settings. Somebody's gonna come on stream and say a slur, and it's over. So let's just make sure that can't happen. Anti-aliasing. Wait, let's just see how good these games can look. Game developer console overlay. Oh my god, yes. You can't look yaw speed. Look pitch speed. So you can't voice 0. Thank you. Input. What's weird about the input here too is that there's a global input for stuff like the voice and stuff, But then there's game input. It's like the two layers are kind of meshed into one at the moment, which is kind of odd. Kind of hard to tell. Wrong game. Wrong game. Well, not wrong game. It was a good game. Again, it doesn't post up the vote thing. That's weird. There's a lot of weird things I'm starting to see now. To be fair, it's why it's still not a full like game that's like out yet. Like they're still doing stuff. Like they're still making the game. It's still in beta. When it says querying all active lobbies, the way that they write that console log like message or that log message makes it seem like it's like a query that's happening. I'm gonna make a lobby. We're just gonna go inside. We wait for at least one other person. Somebody's gotta want to play this, okay? Somebody wanted to go play 7-Eleven. Listen, forget 7-Eleven. Come over here, buddy, alright? 7-Eleven, they don't even sell taquitos anymore. They sell like, it's like mostly bread. It's not worth it. You want the good shit? Come over here. We have the good shit. Bean Runner. What's it called? Bean Runner. They should have called it like flicking the bean or something. No, don't use that actually. I'm using that for my Nutcracker game. You can't use that. That's my concept. You can't use that. The fuck do you find? Okay, there's another problem here that I'm realizing with the platform. For the games that require multiplayer components, if they don't build in like a single player component, you get into this weird like issue where there's not enough people within the world to play with you, right? Because the multiplayer component of this game, it's a bit weird in that though you can tap into the market of all sandbox players, you are effectively still fighting against other games for that same group of players. It's effectively, it doesn't solve it. Okay, multiplayer games in general, and I think Manomi Park said this best at the GDC talk, vie for players' time and attention. That's so true. King or Queen for my English is ruined. My language is I can't go back to the office. I just can't. I'm already back in the office and I'm trying not to say chat most of the time. But you can't stop people from playing the games that they want to play your game. So you're always competing against other things to get them to play your game. On Sandbox, even though they have this idea of like the people who play Sandbox might be able to see your game, it doesn't necessarily solve that problem. And in a way, I wonder if it's even worse because in Sandbox, it's very easy to get into quick games and you keep switching over and over and over. Whereas in a more dedicated game, somebody's on there and they might stick to play it for like a while. But like, it feels like it's the same problem no matter what, where if your game isn't designed for single player, even if Sandbox gives you an entire infrastructure and a platform to play with, it's very hard to like make that work because it's going to be dependent on the player base as a whole. Like if I look at Steam, what's like the active players of Sandbox? How the hell do you see active players again? There's no store page for it, so I gotta get Steam charts. Is it Steam charts or Steam DB? I need the Steam app ID of this. Properties. You get the Steam app ID again. Here we go. 590830. Damn, they had a pretty good one. Huh. Wait. Database. Here we go. Sandbox. This only suggests things that have a store page. Here we go. How many players are currently live? Because we got one person showing up to like do the 7-Eleven, but is that? Fuck do you see? Frequent violence or gore. 172 in game. All-time peak 2 months ago was 992. So for me to get somebody to play this game, to like randomly find somebody to play my multiplayer game, at least at the moment. Obviously, this might change once you get to the point of like full release, right? But in total, how many games are available? Let's see. Is there like a count? I can check like a count of how many games there are. Or... Well, let's say that there's a shit ton of games. Okay, there's a shit ton of games. You're looking at like a shit ton of games. Trending. Popular. let's say, okay, single player and multiplayer tags are probably the easiest one to filter by, right? Even if you assume that there's overlap, like a tiny bit, you're maybe looking at like 100 something games. And that's if they have these tags. Like most games probably don't even have like tags. For the game jam alone, for instance, there's 100 submissions, right? 172 players. On average, you're going to get like 1.5 players, or like 1.2, 1.3 players. No, well, 1.7 players or so every single game. Yeah, because it's 100. Yeah, sorry. Yeah, so like roughly 1.7 players per game. So I will never be able to play this game without sheer luck on my side, basically. But there's you see how when I hover over it, it says 137? What does that mean? 138 global players, but not at the moment. Just happens to be at the time. I'm seeing another problem that the platform can't solve. The platform, it doesn't matter what platform you have, multiplayer games will always run into this issue of like player base starvation, player base, just lack of player base. It's always going to happen. Terry's Papers, please. Is this like a Papers, Please? Onyx Games, that's a good logo. That's a good name. I really enjoy that. If anything, you should trademark that name and then sell it to somebody who really likes the letter X. Downloading. Maybe it's the number of files too, right? The more loose files you have, maybe that's the faster it goes. I mean, the fastest time that we've had so far was a 4 megabyte game, which was mostly 2D assets, right? Which are fairly straightforward. But even for something like this, like I don't expect like half a gigabyte to take this long on my connection. All right, Terry's Papers. Await intro cutscene. This is like Papers, Please. Isn't it?
Hello, this is Sophie from the Borderline Bureau. I'm calling with some fantastic news. You got the job. Congratulations. We're really excited to have you join the team. It's always great to welcome new members, and we're sure you fit right in. You'll start tomorrow bright and early, 9 a.m. It's going to be a fresh start. I'm sure you'll do great. Just a little heads up, though. Our boss is really big on punctuality, so it's important to be on time. He's very passionate about it. Let's
So
just
hard to hear.
say he has a unique way of showing his appreciation for it. Anyways, I just wanted to give you a quick call to welcome you aboard and let you know we're rooting for you. I'll meet you at the office tomorrow to help you get settled in. You'll learn the ropes in no time.
Why is it refreshing the
I won't keep you
leaderboard?
any longer. Just remember to get a good night's sleep and bring your best tomorrow. We'll see you at 9 a.m. sharp. Good.
Is this an office? The voice line got cut off. The timing is a bit off.
Welcome to your
Hey,
first day
Sophie.
on the job.
Yeah.
Let's get you acquainted
Hey,
with
the
your
face syncing.
workspace. You're in charge of managing the border checkpoint. There's a lot to go over, so listen up.
First up, the documents.
This
You'll
is
be
Papers,
seeing
Please.
A lot of passports, ID cards, birth certificates, and more. Each document shows important information about the person, like where they're from, dates, and much more. If they provide fingerprint records, you'll need to use the fingerprint scanner to make sure they're the same. Make sure to check that all details match and follow the regulations posted on the wall. Oh, and some people will have vaccine cards and entry tickets. Those are only given to people who've taken the necessary steps to get them.
Next, the computer. This computer allows you to search database, play music, take notes, and more. I even downloaded a guidebook that goes over everything we're talking about right now, just in case you need it later on. Just remember, your shift starts at 9 a.m. and ends at 5 p.m. Every shift you'll have a quota, so make sure to meet that quota before 5 p.m. Time management is key here. Speaking of database, this app allows you to search names and check if people are wanted. Keep in mind though, if you search a name and you are sure you got the spelling correct but got no results, they probably gave you a fake name.
I don't have the energy for this. You're
Now,
back with energy
see
drinks.
that
I
red
need
button?
energy drinks.
That's the panic button.
This isn't.
Someone
This
doesn't
is
need the
taking a
required
while.
regulation.
Too real.
Hit that button and
Too
send them back.
real.
And right in front of you is the deposit box. If everything checks out and the person should be granted entry, give them their documents and send them on their way.
It's not even their fault. I just really,
The
I just hate
scanner.
exposition tutorials.
This
It's a
device lets
personal
you scan
preference,
individuals
right?
for any
What they're
hidden
doing is
features.
interesting.
Keep an
I
eye
enjoy
out
the idea
for
of like
hidden
tying in
gifts,
this idea of like your
secret
tutorial
info,
person
or
within the
even
story
weapons.
being Sophie.
It's like your very own spy gadget.
And don't forget to check the post-it notes on the wall every
But it is funny that when the camera pans away too far, you can barely hear her.
Your life outside of work is none of our business until it becomes our business. So stay happy, make good choices, and spend your money wisely.
Yes, ma'am.
Otherwise, we may need to demote you or even worse,
Yes, ma'am.
fire you.
Whoa,
We've
whoa,
provided
whoa,
you
whoa.
a work-issued phone to
I'm a
help you keep
contractor.
track of everything.
Okay.
But don't go getting any funny ideas.
Yep.
We've blocked most websites and monitor everything you do.
Hmm.
And hey, if things go well, you may even get promoted and make even more money. That's it for the basics. It's a lot to take in, but you'll get the hang of it in no time. Just remember, you're in control here. Keep the border secure, follow the rules, and you'll do great. Good luck!
Thank you, ma'am. Couple things. One, I really enjoyed that phone thing. They made a good amount of use of the spatial audio stuff. Very hard. ID expire, password expire. They do a really good job with the UI as well, because this is a world UI, so you can see even like it tries to center itself based on like where you were looking. So it was trying to like thing. They did the lip syncing thing, which is like a thing that Source Engine has, but I don't recall if it's like automatic or if you have to like manually sync up everything. I just remember that there's like some ability for it to like match what you say, but I can't remember how detailed you have to be within manually setting it up. I just know that the Source Engine probably has some of the best lip syncing stuff out there, so I'm glad that they use it. Oh god, these thumb characters are cursed, but look at how versatile these characters are. Same model as Sophie, by the way. Same model, except now it's like a grungy, like this guy chain smokes like 7 times a day. You know what I mean? You look good. What's your name again? Hey, music. Wait. Border control for dummies. BC for dumb. That's funny. Music. Trap? What do you mean trap? Johnny Watkins. Okay, can I leave? This country depends on you. Do your job. And look at the versatility. Look. Now there's also a poster with this country. Why did I have a poster of Sophia too? I thought that was a very funny detail. That was very, very nice. Having a poster of Sophia was a great thing to have too. Give me a thumb. Index, middle, ring, pinky. Highest score, prior, quick zap. Refreshes every 60 seconds. That's why. I also like how he stares at your mouse cursor. Do you see this? How he stares at you. There's a lot of little details in this game that's actually really really nice, right? If you ignore the visuals, because I think the visuals can like tend to lie to you in the sense of like, oh, like it looks really good, so it's very easy to get lost in them, right? But just these little details of like how you interact with the things, very, very good. Close your mouth. Close your dirty, disgusting mouth. Don't breathe my air. Anyone for Avalor or Dracoria must have an entry ticket. All documents must match and not be the same. You're from Bristonia, Washington Avenue. Who keeps emailing me? Your cat has ordered 500 tins of tuna. FelineOrders.com. Hello, we're reaching out to confirm a recent order placed by your cat. According to our records, 500 tins of tuna have been purchased and are currently being shipped to your address. This is not authorized. You want a lifetime supply of air. I'm gonna need this for when the earth like burns. My cat did it again. The boss. Time is money. You better not be wasting it either. So make sure I don't tolerate slackers. Consider this your warning. Okay, boss. Jeez, alright. I think this guy's good. What's his name? Johnny Watkins. Not wanted. You're free to go. Panic? Are you fucking kidding me? You're such a dick. Especially when calling update on computer UI. Yo, seriously, hurry the hell up. See, look at the versatility. See, that's why I like the Terry model, right? Because like, not to say that other character models you can't do it, but every character model, if it's generic, but you have different variations of generic, you then like quadruple, like it's basically a multiplier on how many art assets you have. Let's say you have like a male model, and then let's say you have a model for like each like gender that like has specific like gender isms, right? So like, you know, boobs versus no a boob, right? Well, guess what? Now you gotta make two different pieces of like clothing, or you make the clothing like dynamically fit, which is like a whole different problem as like well. Otherwise, the like boobs would like show. Whereas with the Terry character, I mean, they're these things are basically featureless. It's actually the one thing that I really enjoy. That's why I'm sad that they're getting rid of it. Terry is featureless. He has no like this character has no identity, so you can make an identity for them on the fly. It's a very versatile sort of like baseline for like a game. Fuck Terry. Okay, well, you don't understand. You are just a hater. You're vaccinated. All right, cool. Look vaccinated. You're just a hater. I think Terry's great. Chat, I learned something new today, actually. Well, recently. I was reading a webtoon about, it's another childhood friend romance thing. Like, and I know it's, I always tell you guys about these childhood friend romance things because my wife and I, like, we've known each other since we were, like, 3 years old. So I have, like, a soft spot for them. But also, like, I learned about this. Apparently, if you're ring finger, so... In the webtoon, the guy was like, yeah, my ring finger is way larger than my index finger. And I was like, well, what does that mean? So I Googled it. The how long your ring finger is compared to your index finger is an indicator of how much testosterone you've like gotten since like birth. And the myth or like the idea is that that's how large, like the larger it is, the longer your penis size. And then I looked at my hand and then I looked at my penis and I was like, yeah, this explains a lot actually about why it's so large. It's actually a pretty accurate indicator. Wait, what? What was the recipe? Aunt Jolie. No room for errors. Not paying to make mistakes. Okay, fine. Calm down. It's known to be a myth. Well, it seems to pan out for me. But the testosterone thing was apparently true, at least from the studies that I read. I don't know how true that is. Ken McMillan. Ron Roberts, Ken McMillan. The fuck? What site was it at? Like a study, like an archive. Ron Roberts. It's where like no, not on Reddit. It's where like the distance of the length of your second ring or something. The second ring on your finger gets like longer, and they were doing a study based on like how much testosterone that they have as like, you know, an adult, comparing the levels across different people. But they were also like aware of the fact that that like it's very hard to like control for levels of like hormones. So they're like there could have been no real correlation too. So it was more of like a meta study based on testosterone levels and then like looking at like in like the finger sizes. Ron Roberts. Ken McMillan. Not wanted. Okay, why is your name Ken McMillan? I guess you changed your name, sure. Entry ticket. Yeah. You're in. How do you get this back? It's rare for one thing to affect something. It's always multiple in a chain. Yeah. But it's like, that's why I said it's like it seemed like a meta study, right? Like it's like, obviously you can't. You got it wrong. You know what, chat? I feel like I prefaced it enough with like possibly being right or like wrong. I feel like I prefaced it enough with this idea of like, you know, I don't know if it's necessarily true. And I feel like we're all aware of the fact that it's rare for one thing to like affect something like that. I just thought it was a funny story, and then everyone's going like, well, actually, how was your first day? I liked it. Was it bad? So I get the hang of things. We'll see how long it lasts. I believe you had next shift or you're fired. Here's how you did today. The quote for the day was 2. You processed 2 people. 1 were processed correctly. 1 were processed incorrectly. I had to punish you 1 times. I've had to cut my pay. What? You cut my pay? I'm fired? He just said I'm gonna come back the next day. So in terms of the leaderboard, latest news. In terms of the leaderboard, I think I got pretty far. When the version 1 was released, the game was essentially a repetitive point and click. No story, no goal, nothing. The Game Jam 2, day 1, lore. Huh? When was this game like released? Yeah, it was in... Honestly, from July onwards, pretty good. Illegal. Wait, are tags something you can just apply anything to? Like, you just do any kind of tag that you want? That's kind of funny, actually. How come it doesn't pop up the vote thing? That's a good vote. I like that. What? You have no collections. What? No, don't report package. What? Game Jam 2. How do I get to the news? Solid. Great game. Just fixed the text bug. Really good, but had some bugs. Ultra Neon. Oh yeah. Oh yeah, I had a feeling that'd be loud. Actually, what's weird is that the mouse doesn't even like capture it. Like I legitimately cannot turn I can't turn. The mouse is separate. I don't think it got captured. That's weird. Zone capture game mode. Wait, what? We can only do a couple more of these. The time is going short. But in terms of seeing what people have like made, pretty viable actually as a platform IMO. They've done a decent job of like giving people like a full platform to like play with. It seems like an interesting concept if only it would work. But I see the problems with the platform too that sort of like crop up in terms of See, look, the graphics, it got me. But I see the problem with the graphics as they like crop up too in terms of like what your sorry, not with the graphics, but with the platform in terms of like actually getting players to play the multiplayer ones. Yeah, that's gonna be a very hard challenge moving forward, I think.
Yes,
and also these like download times too.
Yes, I've done it. It's alive. I wonder if it can hear me. You there. Nod your head.
Now this is good.
Heads, if you understand me. Yes, that'll do it, I suppose. I, the illustrious Dr. Franken, have given you life, many arms, and, admittedly, not enough legs. Well, let's see if you can coordinate yourselves well enough to drink this red concoction. The process is not yet perfected, you see.
Wait, I need to restart this. I went way too fast. It's a bit like an old Ultima. Oh,
yes.
whatever those like games were like called. Was it Ultima? It's like Grimrock.
I wonder if it can hear me.
One of the weirdest things though is that cooldown when you move. Because there's a cooldown for when you move.
Heads, if you understand me.
And you see it by the boot. Which makes sense when you finally understand. But the boot makes me think of like I can kick this thing, especially the way that it kind of like projects forward. It looks like a projected icon on like things, so I thought it was like a kick button. I didn't think it was an actual like whatchamacallit.
Let's see if you can coordinate yourselves well enough to drink this
like a status indicator.
concoction. The process is not yet perfected, you see.
There we go. Okay, that's really good. Hold up high to drink.
I am most pleased.
That's
that
a cool
can
setup.
follow basic
Made in 10 days for the
instructions.
game jam. That's really good.
Proceed as one through my
By
testing
evil, very
chambers.
evil demons.
We will see if you are worthy of being my favorite experiment.
Yeah, that's a neat system. This is a very neat system. It reminds me of this like God, what's that game? It's not like Grimrock, but it was a game kind of like that same concept, but specifically the way that you could interact with things like this. I wish I remembered the name of it, but it reminds me of that kind of game. It's a very interesting concept that like works well when it does work well. Of torch. Deal damage. 5. Put the torch down. Go. Is a non-anti-alias look on purpose? I think so. Because it specifically, because with my settings on like full and every other game not looking like this, I'm assuming it's like a shader. It looks a lot like a dungeon crawler game. There's on the spider. I will say. Oh, that's how you do slashes with stuff. Okay, well. Say you want to slash with this weapon, you have to like draw it. That's a very cool system. God, what was that name of the game? It's very similar to this. But see that? Now you like slash like thing. Oh fuck. Yum, 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 yum. And then the way you look around too, the control scheme is actually very, very cool. Because you can grab things and it's like all physical. It's like a very, very physical game. It's very nice. Oh, heck yeah. What's that game? I think it was maybe it was X Anima almost. No, but that one, no. That one was the action RPG, right? Swing side to deal damage. Why is that in like in a very small message at the very top? I needed that message a long time ago. Oh fuck, the spider's coming. But this is a very neat concept. I like this a lot. Weaknesses. If you see vault, you're dealing damage. Okay, cool. If I see vault, I'm dealing good damage to it. That's a trap. What? Okay, get the key. Put in front of a lock and press to unlock things. How the hell do I... Well, now I'm stuck. Well, now I'm stuck. I can't move. But yeah, we get the concept. Very cool concept. I like that concept a lot. Surprisingly works well. The tutorial to start with is surprisingly out of sync with your eventual like progress. But it is crazy good. And for 10 days worth of work, that's really, really good actually. Like they knew what they wanted going into it and it works out well. Very, very well. I also really enjoy the way that you like grab things too. They must have made like more stuff then, right? I'm still curious about like how many people like make stuff on this and like what other things they like made. Like it's fun too to go through game jams because then you find more people to like follow to eventually play their stuff too. Also, the deadlock matchmaking is currently open. We may have to call this actually. I didn't realize the right time. We'll come back to this later at some point in the future. This because there's a lot of different games I still want to try, especially the VR games. The multiplayer stuff too, I think I'm going to try to get like a sense of what time is good to go for. Because I think Steam Charts has like a time setting. Because it seems really dependent on what time people play at. And it seems like it's mostly at... in 4 hours, that's when the game really hits its peak. So like right after school in the West, basically. It's either, it's basically right after school in the West. That's when your like peak players start to come on. The most people came on August 29th. And ever since then, it's been kind of slow. For the past month, it's been on a pretty good decline, obviously. Because because the game jam opened up, and that was like the only time that people could come into it. When the game jam opened, there was a huge spike to 900, and it just slowly tapered off. So, well, it's gonna be hard to find people to play the multiplayer ones, but we'll see. I might just do it like offline in like a couple hours on like a day off from like work or something, right? We'll see how it goes. Because again, I think s&box, the platform, works very, very well. It's just unfortunate that it's really hard to get people to play this stuff. It's really hard to get people to go on the multiplayer stuff to like play with. It's also really, really hard to get a sense of like what are issues with s&box itself, what are issues with the games here. Most time wasted. Wait, press enter Y to chat. Hey gang. Anybody love the hole in the donut in particular? One time, I was so immersed in the donut hole that I forgot about the rest of the donut. Anyways, my schmeat had to be cut down in order to free me from the donut. At times. Thanks for watching s&box. I think the platform has a lot of cool things going on, right? I think the platform is going to be very, very good. It's just very, very hard to solve that multiplayer problem. And so I realized that if you make a game that's only multiplayer, you're kind of doomed. But which is fine, because I kind of accounted for that within Snowjob anyways, within the what I wanted for the game. And now that I know the engine a bit more, it's interesting to see what people can like do with it, because it's again, the engine is very, very like fully featured. I'm just still need to figure out how to do the multiplayer stuff as like a custom server, so I can get like more than 64 players. Because I really want to get like as many people as I can playing across every single lobby onto the same game. Because it feels weird to be tied to the lobby almost, right? I kind of wish there was like more freedom with the networking to go like wild with it, but I understand why they don't want to do that. Because then like, imagine if you do that and then all of a sudden people like just make you download anything. It's kind of hard, like hard. No, don't eat me. Gotta add bots. Yeah, I mean you could do bots too, but it's like then it feels even worse. Like, cause like I guess like no matter the solution, it's going to require like work, right? And so it's either do you shift your game design to accommodate for like a single player, which could be easier depending on your game, or do you take the time to program like, you know, like AI for your bots to like do stuff, right? There's no real good easy answer. But I will say that it was a very, very fun time going through this, and now that we know what the engine is like capable of, and now that I've seen what's possible, I have better hope for it. Like, we've also seen problems with the platform, but again, it's just, you know, your average multiplayer platform problems. It's just hard to get players in the general, especially with something that's like so early on, right? Because the peak was like when they released the beta keys again for the whatchamacallit, for the game jam. That was when it hit that like the all-time peak of 900 players. Because it's still in beta, it's really hard to like test these things to like see the viability of the platform. And what's weird is that s&box is gonna be a bit like, I'm assuming it's gonna be like Garry's Mod, but you have to buy the game, and so it's like, okay, well, how well can Facepunch sell s&box? Because in a weird way, the ability for Facepunch to market s&box is directly tied to the success. Like, the success of your game is directly tied to how well Facepunch can market s&box compared to you just marketing your own game. Because if I market my own game and then I say go buy s&box to play my game, it's gonna feel kind of weird. It also brings up this weird topic that I've been thinking about for a while, that I've been sort of wondering how they're eventually gonna tackle, because it's gonna be kind of a hard topic to eventually tackle. You can monetize your game in any which way, right? In any way that you feel like you can monetize your game. The problem is that, sure, you can monetize your game in any way, but how do you do it when effectively the only way to make money off of your game is that the player must first buy the s&box game, if it is going to be like a paid game, right? And if it's a free game, how is Facepunch gonna possibly run this for the long term and actually make a return on it? But there's a lot of different things that are very confusing here. Maybe there is a save feature. Maybe there's a save feature. Maybe I can use that for the map. But then it's like the only save for the host. It feels weird to save the map for the host. I'll have to figure that. I'll figure that out. But there's a lot of interesting problems when you go into the platform space, right? And like, you know, we have various examples of these platforms. Fortnite is kind of a platform for it now, but even if you just look at the cosmetic side, it's like the game is free. They take a cut of your cosmetic like stuff, and then that's how they run things. Roblox is very much the same way. It's free. They take a cut of all the purchases that people make through like in your game, through your game on like Roblox, In return, you also get to like dip into the entire infrastructure and the ecosystem of like players. Here, we don't really have any of that yet, so it's hard to sort of tell how it's going to go. And I've read limited amounts of how they're going to do that, but that's going to be an interesting problem to solve in the future as well. So, multiplayer numbers, huge problem. Trying to get like it's gonna be interesting to see how they sell Sandbox as a full experience. Like, you would need more of this stuff even. Yeah, it's just really hard to do everything. I guess there's a lot that you have to do to make it work. But I think it'd be possible. I think it's doable. I think it's doable to do it well. Gil Bates. I miss insert name here. That's so funny. That's such a good timing. But we'll see. I think that, again, I still think there's a lot of viability to it. Being able to like drop in and like play any multiplayer game with like anybody and not have to wait for somebody is very nice. As a game developer, it's nice to not have to build all that out on your own, because especially if you're doing this on the side, there's like very little time that you have to like make things, right? On top of the fact that you have to like learn the entire thing from the ground up and figure out like what all this is. So, pretty fascinating stuff. But thanks for watching the Sandbox stuff. We're actually done the Sandbox Game Jam. I gotta make it to the deadlock, whatchamacallit. I'm gonna leave us on this screen though, because I have to use the washroom. And when we're back, we'll be playing some Deadlock. If you want to join, please do let me know ASAP, so that we can sort of like add each other on like Steam. Otherwise, I'm just gonna go into matchmaking. I've been really wanting to play that game, and because it looks really interesting. So again, thank you, chat, for the key. I mean, if you also want an invite, please let me know too. I think I can give one out. I think all of us can here, so if you do want an invite, let us know too. But that's all for Sandbox. There's a lot of variability. There's also a lot of complexity with the idea of building your own like game platform. I sure hope it works, because I do kind of want to see if it makes sense. I think it'd be very interesting to sort of get this level of quality with a platform that doesn't involve like a Fortnite base. I don't know why I hate the idea of it being a Fortnite base. I don't know.